Hey guys, what's up? This is Bry. Good morning to you. Got my meditation in, was on my way to row and started mind mapping some ideas for today's video and decided, you know what? Let's record it. So today's theme is how to discover your purpose in less than 5 seconds. How do you discover your purpose in less than 5 seconds? Well, a few things here. One, we need to make a distinction between our purpose and our mission. A lot of people get confused between our ultimate purpose and they kind of get on like a holy grail chase in pursuit of that kind of manic, okay, what am I here to do, me specifically? And in the process, they're not too nice to people. Maybe they can get overly ambitious and just aren't happy with life, always feel unsatisfied, etc. Well, we want to reframe this whole idea of what our purpose is, and we want to look at it as something different than the holy grail chase and different than a mission. We'll talk about the difference between a purpose and a mission in a moment. But basically, from my vantage point, your purpose is your highest goal. It's our highest goal, which is to connect to the highest within ourselves more and more consistently. And when we do that, we live with a radiant sense of hope and optimism and kindness and love and creativity and joy and beauty and enthusiasm and courage and energy and generosity and playfulness and diligence and patience and persistence and mojo and all the other amazing virtues that help us feel that ultimate currency we talked about in, I think it was the first video, right? Happiness. We feel more alive. We feel like we're flourishing. And we're in a better position when we're plugged into the highest goal, which is plugged into our highest selves. We're living on purpose, and we're experiencing these virtues and these feeling senses. We're in a much better position to figure out what our unique mission is. And the way that I like to think about it is it's kind of like a light bulb. If you want to turn on a light bulb, it's a really good idea to make sure it's plugged in, right? You need electricity. You need to be plugged into something bigger than yourself in order to shine. It's the same thing with us. If we want to shine, we want to have our unique mission really, really coming to life, we've got to plug into something bigger than ourselves. We've got to plug into that highest version of ourselves. Call it God, call it the universe, call it whatever you want. We've got to be connected to that force. When we do that, when we're plugged in, when we make that our highest goal, our ultimate purpose, then we can flip the switch when we're shining and we can figure out much more easily what our unique mission is, and we can go ahead and rock it. So that's really, really, really important to know. And the good news is that you can be on purpose right this moment, in every moment. When we redefine it and we see our ultimate purpose, our highest goal is connecting to the highest within ourselves, we have that opportunity moment to moment to moment. And one way that I love to get there, and we're going to talk about all kinds of different tools to plug into the highest within ourselves and really, really optimize our lives throughout these videos. But one big practice for me is asking myself the question, what would the highest version of me do in this moment? What would the highest version of myself do in this moment? And then disciplining myself to do it. It really isn't that complicated. Seriously, it just isn't that complicated. What would the highest version of yourself do this moment, the next moment, the next moment? When you're feeling fear, you're feeling anxiety, you're feeling stress, maybe you go over here and you practice the gratitude and the grateful flow that we talked about yesterday, or you do another practice that you know keeps you plugged in. Every moment we have an opportunity, as Abraham Maslow says, and we're going to talk about this in an entirely separate video, but you can step forward into growth or you can step back into safety. +1, -1, +1, -1, +1, -1. Every moment we have a choice. Are we going to step forward into the highest version of ourselves, or are we going to step backwards? And if you consistently step backwards and you don't do the thing that your highest version of yourself says you should be doing, you're going to create this huge gap between your ultimate potential and where you are. And that's really painful. So we want to close that gap. Again, we'll go off on this. This will be its own video. But for now, we'll bring it back to your purpose and understanding that your highest goal is to connect to the highest within yourself. As you do that, you're going to experience all of this goodness. You're going to feel on purpose, and then you'll figure out with much more grace and much more ease and much more flow what your unique mission is. So there you go. Plug in and shine. Make that your ultimate purpose. We all have the exact same purpose. We all have a different, unique mission, but we all have the same purpose. which is to express the highest within ourselves. So there you go. That's how to discover your purpose in less than 5 seconds. Anytime you feel like you don't know what your purpose is, check in and remember, you always have the opportunity to ask yourself, what would the highest version of myself do in this moment? And that ultimately, that's what it's all about, to more and more and more consistently live from the highest within ourselves. So there you go. Let's not confuse our purpose with a holy grail chase or our mission. And I'm not saying that the mission isn't important, because it is. We do want to figure out what our unique constellation of gifts and talents and strengths and experiences and how we can give them to the world most fully. But we need to make sure we start here. So we'll do this one in a future one. Hope you dug it. There you go. How to discover your purpose in less than 5 seconds. Have an awesome day. See ya.
Learn the simple strategies to discover your true gift. Transform a vision into a mission. Lose yourself in what you love. And create the freedom and fulfillment that you know you deserve.
This is life and enterprise management. And so as a result, we want to make sure we work on both. We want to create a system that allows you to succeed in both areas, life and your enterprise. By the way, which one would you say is more valuable? Which one? That's not how most people live the game. Most people make it the enterprise. And as they make it the enterprise, they wake up and they have a tremendous amount of economic success if they're successful. And what's ironic is what makes you successful may not make you fulfilled. And so there's a big pull in our culture to go for what's most successful, what will reward you culturally with respect or acknowledgement or stars on your chart or economic rewards, thinking that will give us freedom. I want to really make sure that comes out of this is an evaluation of what your real gifts are that are going to fulfill you. Because many of you are living a script around your life that involves having an enterprise when really that may not be your true nature. Sometimes those problems have to do with the fact that you don't understand the stage of development you're in. The most important element is for you to be able to do this, to be able to establish, most importantly, where you really are in your life today. Where are you? And where do you really want to go? What's going to create this extraordinary life? And to look at it brand new. Because some of you right now, if you continue the direction you're going, are going to be successful and unfulfilled, unhappy, and stressed. Because once we get, into a dream, then that dream starts to take on a life of its own. It gives us juice, it gives us energy. But how many of you ever got the dream, achieved your goal, and then thought, is this all there is? You've got to separate the vehicle from the outcome. What is it that's going to truly fulfill you? What is it that's going to give you that extraordinary life? What's going to make things magnificent on your terms, not somebody else's terms? Sometimes you got to reevaluate what's going to really make you fulfilled. What is your gift? Are you an artist? Are you the talent that can produce something no one else produces as a skill or a product or a service or some impact? Are you incredibly good at management? You really know how to manage or lead people? Are you an extraordinary entrepreneur that can take that gigantic gut load of risk and can create the vision and attract the talent that you need and the managers and leaders? You may have all three abilities, but which one really fulfills you the most is going to be the critical question. See, again, the secret's going to be this. What is an extraordinary life on your terms today? Getting clear about that. At this stage of life, where you are, where you want to go. At some level, you have a blueprint, a mindset, a belief system, a philosophy, a set of values that says, if I master this thing called my life or my enterprise, then I'll have this great feeling. But what's really interesting about life, I believe that extraordinary life, however you define it, has two master skills to it. The first skill is the science of achievement. Most of you in this room have achieved enormously at various levels of business or as an individual artist or talent or as an entrepreneur or as a manager or leader, as an investor. I mean, everybody in this room, most of you in this room, have really hit the jackpot by most of the world's standards, even though most of you think it's still not enough. But the science of achievement is a skill. It is a science. There are laws. But the reason I love business is I see business as the ability to take the invisible and make it visible. I think that is what spirituality and creation is. It's about how can I find the gift I have to give the world. But the second skill of life is less focused on, and if you're going to have not only management, but create and grow an extraordinary life, you've got to master the second. And that second master skill is the art of fulfillment. The art of fulfillment. And the art of fulfillment, I call it an art because art is like what one person thinks is beautiful, somebody else may think is ugly. But what you have to be able to do is find out what is it for you that's going to fulfill you. And I'll tell you there's two primary elements to that. You've got to figure out what is your gift that's going to give you a sense of meaning, because you can't be fulfilled without a sense of contribution. You can feel happy. Happiness for most people is temporary. So success without fulfillment, that's called failure. If you know somebody who's got everything they thought they wanted and they're not fulfilled, they got a real problem. So what's going to make you fulfilled? Finding your gift, contribution. Life's not about me, it's about we. If we feel like we're contributing to someone else, then we don't just get something, we become something. And what you get never makes you happy long term. Who you become makes you very happy or very sad. So part of that art of fulfillment is, what's my contribution? The second part of it is appreciation. Some of you are contributing, but you're not taking the time to really appreciate. You're not noticing. Every moment of your life, you got to decide, what are you going to focus on, and what does it mean, and what are you going to do? Is it the end of the beginning? Are you being punished or rewarded? Meaning is where all life is shaped, and you have the power to change the meaning how fast. But you better ask a better question or come up with a better answer.